Hello, Libra. Welcome to Cancer season. You might know this, but Cancer is an important sibling sign for you. Libra is what's called a cardinal sign, and so is Cancer. That means that both of your signs begin quarterly markings of seasonal time. Libra begins with one of the equinoxes, and Cancer begins with one of the solstices. Because you are quarterly siblings or cardinal siblings, Cancer also holds a really important place in your chart, which is the heaven of your chart or the highest point. Astrologers will also call this the solar 10th house. This is the place of your vocation, your career, your public offering, and really who you are and what you stand for in the world. When you think about your legacies, your lineages, and adulting or embodying possibility for others that they might see you as someone to look up to or follow, these are the themes that come in this part of your chart. So Cancer season is bringing a lot of energy into these themes. This is a great time for you to get noticed. If there are projects or efforts that you have been trying to gain traction with, this is definitely a season where you have a lot of opportunity to put work out in the world and put yourself out in the world. This is a season that's also asking you to work skillfully. And when I say skillfully, what I mean is multifold. So, first of all, pacing is really important. I think a lot of you have been learning important lessons over the course of the last 13 years or so, but especially in the last year and a half, around your energy and what you need to sustain your energy and some level of energetic output. Your self care, your health, and your well being are absolutely paramount right now. You are not going to be able to get up on stage or put the work out there or take advantage of these opportunities if you are depleted and don't have the energy for it, or if your body is asking you to attend to it, or your life is asking you to attend to things that are calling your attention and not really allowing you to focus on what else you want to be doing out there. Now, I will say that attending to your body and taking care of your environment, including your inner environment as well as the world around you, might be the work. This might be your vocation. This might be your career. This might be the possibility modeling that you are doing for others. We're living at a time when I think a lot of people are trying to unwind and unlearn grind culture and really oppressive, objectifying, diminishing kinds of productivity mindsets where we are trying to be machines instead of human beings. So this might be a season that is actually a season of rest for you, but in the ways that you're resting, in the ways that you're taking care of yourself, you are really modeling for others in your life what that could look like. And in that modeling, you're making more space in the world for people to recognize the importance of care, of tending, of rest, etc. On the topic of skillful, another way that you want to be working skillfully has to do with what I'm going to call subtle energy or vibe. You can also think about this as spiritual energy or intuition. You might also consider emotional experiences as part of this terrain. I think that Libra is really up-leveling on emotional intelligence these days, and up-leveling processes aren't always easy. They're not always fun, but they're definitely worth it in the long run. Libra as an archetypal energy can often be described and felt as people pleasing. There can be an element of more like surface identification and a lot of awareness around how people perceive you. There can be a tendency to try and keep the peace around things or make things nice. And sometimes that desire to make things nice can inhibit depth for Libra. But Libra is really learning how important depth is right now. You are learning that it is absolutely in your best interest to take the time to ask the questions, to feel the feelings, and to give the space for process, contemplation, and transformation. So, Cancer season is also asking you to do this. If you are doing anything that's about putting yourself out into the world or making big next steps for your life, then in order for these steps to be supported and sustainable, you also need to be making them in ways that are really taking into account how you feel energetically, whether you are intuitively sensing that the space and the timing is correct. You're also really needing to make sure that whoever you might be working with or in relationship with, that there is some kind of emotional and energetic coherence between you so that whatever you're working on can be supported. Sometimes this means slowing down. Sometimes this requires more complexification and process that feels like we're not really going anywhere, but ultimately we're going to get there faster because we have taken the time to work out these little areas of energetic kind of friction that might be easy to gloss over sometimes if we're only focused on outward appearances. So I really want to encourage you, Libra, to tend to the inner needs right now, even as your life might be asking you to go out and to do things and to put yourself out there, or there's energy that feels big and exhibitive. You will make the biggest strides, you will make the best effort when you're working in ways that really take care of your inner environment, of your body, of your emotional needs, and that take the time to be attuned and aware of others who may be working with you. Definitely anyone who's working for you, if you're a person who's in a position where you are in leadership or you're able to employ others, this is really a period of time that you want to make sure that the people who are working for you or supporting your efforts are also feeling supported and cared for by you. So there may be issues or feelings that like you kind of have a sense of, and this would be the time to slow down, to ask questions, and to give the space for any kind of process that might need to happen. As we move out of the month of June and into the month of July, there is an increase in social energy for you. This increase is wanting to bring you out into the world. There are networking opportunities, there are new friends, there are ideas about expanding your social circle. A lot of you have been working on some kind of creative new beginnings over the last year or so, and some of you may be trying to fund or resource these kinds of projects or grow them bigger, and that might have to do with connecting with others out into the world, with sharing or spreading the news. Or as you connect with others out in the world and share and spread this news, you're getting ideas about how you want to be more creative in your life and ways that you might express yourself in new and different ways. This is exciting energy for you, and it continues through July and pretty much into most of August, or at least the first 3 quarters or so of August. And what do I want to say? I want to say that there are lots of opportunities. There's lots of growth. It feels like there's fast movement that is happening for a lot of you, especially when it comes to relationships, to other people, to making new connections, to networking, to growing something bigger, to making something better, that kind of thing. That said, this piece that I was concentrated on a couple of minutes ago continues to be really important over the next year and a half through the end of 2025. You want to be attuned. You want to be skillful in the application of your energy. and you want to cultivate integration and coherence in your body, between your body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul, and definitely with any important collaborators. If you have employees, if you have people that you're collaborating with or who are assisting you in some way, if you are in the role of assisting someone or if you are their employee, this feels like things need to take the time that they're going to take to smooth out some rough patches. And the benefit of this is long-term sustainability in these relationships. There is actually so much benefit, even though in the present moment, it may feel a little bit cumbersome or awkward, or there may be interactions that, because the pace of your life is happening quickly, they could feel a little frustrating to slow down for. Libra, it's essential that you do this work. If something is resonating for you here and pinging in some area of your life and you're like, oh yeah, that situation over there has been feeling a little bit like a rub with that person, or I'm not sure how it's going for them, or I'm not sure how it's going for me. Or if you're feeling something in your body or your energy and you're like, wow, if I keep doing it this way, it's going to hurt. Or if I keep doing it this way, I'm going to burn out. You really want to attend to those needs. You might not know what the next best steps are, and that's okay. It's really okay that you don't know. This is a time of emergence and also kind of dissolving and falling apart and coming back together over the next year and a half. So if things aren't working right now, try and understand why. Like, unpack them. It may be that they will work beautifully given a couple of adjustments, and those adjustments may just have to do with presence and attention and energy or sentiment. So please don't get frustrated. Don't worry if you don't quite know how something is going to work out. Follow your impulses for growth, but also really stay attuned and present with the subtle field in your body, in your environment, and in your relationships, especially in the relationships that have to do with any kind of shared projects, labor, or work. As we get into the middle of July and towards the end of Cancer season, there's a lot of energy building and accumulating. In your chart, I'm feeling that the middle of July is bringing a period of time in which there may be some big revelation or some kind of important information that comes to the surface. Some of you, this information is going to feel like it changes the course of something for you, and it's like an aha moment. It totally depends on your circumstances. You're going to have to make the meaning that's meaningful for you. But if you're getting information that you're like, oh my God, I had no idea, it was like secret or obscured, and just now you're figuring something out, please, again, give yourself time, if you can, to integrate that information in your body before you jump ahead into next steps. As we get out of Cancer season, a lot of you may feel, especially if there's been some significant shift, like you have to mobilize in a new direction right away. There certainly are new directions that are open to you, but you could be running off in multiple directions and therefore not getting very far in any of them if you don't give yourself a little bit of time to metabolize, to integrate, and to reflect on what your next best steps are. Now, I think a lot of you are having a kind of aha moment that feels really liberating, and there may be a kind of opening of energy at this point. This energy could be relational energy. So some of you are having important conversations. You're figuring out how people feel about things or how you feel about things. And in that, there's an opening of trust and availability in relationships. And then we can go to the next step. Some of you are experiencing a liberation of resource right now. And it feels like I mentioned, you might have things that you're trying to fund or projects that you're trying to build. This middle part of July is a potential opportunity moment for some of you if you're trying to get things funded, especially if you're looking for investors, or if you are a person who might invest in something. That doesn't just have to be money. It could be your time, your labor, your attention, etc. This is a powerful influence for combining resources around this time and working in collaboration. And I can't emphasize it enough. You also want to be working skillfully with any potential collaborators so that you don't rush past any areas that need emotional tending or energetic care. Finally, by the very end of Cancer season, we have a feeling of kind of readiness for some kind of new adventure that I feel for you. And I think a lot of you are getting excited to go somewhere. Some of you might have trips or travel planned, or there may be new connections that you're making with people from far away, whatever that might mean for you. This is an amazing time for you to be thinking about broadening your horizons and setting out on some new adventures. I'm going to repeat that you want to give things time to kind of reflect on, is this the next best step for you? There could be ideas that emerge really quickly and kind of send you off into some direction. Sometimes we don't have a choice and we just got to go, and it might be like that for you. But if you feel like you could give it, 24 hours to 2 weeks or something to just consider your options and decide if this is actually going to be beneficial in terms of where you're trying to head, I would definitely recommend giving yourself that time and space. If you don't have 24 hours to 2 weeks, you do at least have 10 deep breaths. And your breath will always help you regulate. And so if you're feeling caught up in the pace of things, if you're feeling that sensation of excitement because a lot is building, but excitement and anxiety are often very similar in their physiology, take some breaths. Take 10 deep breaths. Let those breaths flow in and out through your body and notice the space that they bring to your mind. Really try and attune your listening and your awareness to the sensation and the sounds of your breath. And that might give you the space that you need to do the internal assessment about which direction you want to go. Libra, I hope any or all of that feels helpful and supportive. I'm wishing you all the best in Cancer season and beyond. Bye for now.